And losing pitcher Dallas Keuchel says they need to find a way to solve the Yankees after dropping 3 straight in the Bronx.
Playoff brings a different animal, different challenges, different obstacles you have to overcome, and it just seemed like we didn't make the necessary adjustments these last 3 games. So we'll look to make some adjustments and figure out what we need to do.
Game 6 in Houston Friday. Justin Verlander for the Astros against Luis Severino for New York. Cubs beat the Dodgers 3-2, keep their playoff hopes alive. Javier Baez with a pair of solo homers for the Cubs. Cubs manager Joe Maddon ejected for the 2nd time in this series. This is SRN Sports. NBA action last night. Indiana beat Brooklyn 140-131. Pacers' highest point total since a 144-point game against Denver back on November 9th, 2010. Orlando beat Miami. Denver 102, Charlotte 90 as the Pistons are playing in their new arena in the downtown area. That's the Little Caesars Arena, a new facility that drew them downtown for the first time in nearly 40 years. Washington beat Philadelphia. Milwaukee beat Boston. Memphis over New Orleans. Atlanta beat Dallas as Dirk Nowitzki joins Kobe Bryant of the Lakers as the only players to reach 20 seasons with the same franchise. Utah Jazz beat Denver 106-96. San Antonio beat Minnesota. It was Houston beating Sacramento and Portland routing Phoenix 124-76, the most lopsided season-opening loss in NBA history and the biggest defeat in the Suns' history. This is SRN Sports.
Excuse me. That's a bad outfit. Here they come again. Catch us if you can. Time to get a move on. We were young with all of our might. Catch us if you can. 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 Now we gotta run. No more time for fun. When we're getting angry, we were young with all of our might. Catch us if you can. 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 Here they come again. Catch us if you can. Time to get a move on. We were young with all of our might. Catch us if you can. Catch us if you can. Catch us if you can. Catch us if you
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio, 43 degrees at 7 o'clock. We'll have an extended look at our weather forecast after this update in national news.
The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The White House continues to deny the claim of a widow of a fallen soldier that President Trump was disrespectful when he called a consoler for her loss. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders.
Multiple people in the room believe that the president was completely respectful, very sympathetic, and expressed the condolences of himself and the rest of the country.
Sergeant David Johnson was one of 4 American military personnel killed nearly 2 weeks ago in Niger. Washington correspondent Mike Grazia says the bipartisan push for a health care subsidies extension is not over yet.
Republican Senator Lamar Alexander and Democratic Senator Patty Murray are vowing to push forward with their proposal to extend Obama-era subsidies for health insurers by 2 years. But President Trump has turned on the plan. Senator John Thune of South Dakota says without the president supporting it, he doesn't see passage in either the House or the Senate.
That's Washington correspondent Mike Grazia. Puerto Rico's governor set to sit down with President Trump today at the White House. Here's White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
The president will meet with Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rossello
to talk about how best the federal government can help aid state and local governments and help in the rebuilding and recovery efforts.
Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says the Trump administration continues to work hand in hand with local leaders in all areas of the country that have been affected.
That is White House correspondent Greg Clugston. It's happened several times now. Another new record high on Wall Street.
The record day for the Dow saw the index gain 160 points to close at an all-time high of 23,157. It was also a record close for the S&P and the NASDAQ. Technology stocks and financial companies led the gainers as investors weighed the latest batch of company earnings news. IBM surged 8.9%.
That is correspondent Julie Walker. The Dow was up by 160. This is SRN News. More Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. Here's SRN's Michael Harrington.
International Christian Concern reports more than 24 people have been killed by Islamic Fulani herdsmen in Plateau State. Nigerian Christians not only face violent persecution from the Fulani, but also from the much larger and more organized Muslim terror group Boko Haram, which has pledged itself to ISIS. Nigeria ranks 12th on the annual Open Doors USA list of the countries where persecution of Christians is the highest. Michael Harrington, SRN News.
The Israeli government has wrapped up a 4-day, first-of-its-kind summit for Christian journalists. About 130 people from some 30 countries took part in the event, including the world's largest television broadcasters, CBN, Daystar, Trinity Broadcasting, and God TV. A spokesman for Israel's government press office says the summit was long overdue and that planners chose the 50th anniversary celebrations of Israel's capture of East Jerusalem. This is SRN News. Former President Obama will be back on the campaign trail. He'll be out stumping today for new Democrats running for office. If there's anything most Americans can agree on, it's got to be hoping that researchers can find a cure for cancer. Mike Grazia reports U.S. regulators have approved a new gene therapy now for blood cancer in adults.
The treatment is called Yescarta. It comes from Kite Pharma, which is a subsidiary of drug maker Gilead Sciences. Yescarta is custom-made to treat aggressive lymphoma in adults. Gilead Sciences says the treatment will cost $373,000 per patient.
Aviation chiefs are investigating whether any laws were broken after a low-flying pilot dropped live turkeys onto a festival in Arkansas. The annual Yellville Turkey Trot has included a turkey drop where birds are dropped and then chased by festival goers for more than 5 decades. Sponsors have distanced themselves from it in recent years. More details at srnnews.com.
Jackson's Body Shop, downtown. Jackson's Body Shop, downtown. It's your car, it's your voice. Jackson's Body Shop, the best choice. Dents, stings, major body repair. A pre-loaner car, 'cause we really care. Jackson's Body Shop, downtown. Jackson's Body Shop, downtown. Call 647-6989 or Jackson's.
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio, Clarksville area weather nice. Plenty of sunshine today. Mid-70s for a high, 46 for an overnight low. And for Friday, mostly sunny once again, a high of 77. We don't have any mention of rain until Sunday into Monday in the Clarksville area. Currently, we're at 43 degrees in downtown Clarksville. With a look at traffic, here's John Michaels.
Good morning. Traffic around the city and the county picking up as we move through the morning commute. Looks like 41A out at Fort Campbell busy, especially out by the border. 79 Woodlawn busy as well. New Providence Boulevard looks pretty busy. 48 and 13 is very busy if you're coming into the city from the county, especially out by Montgomery Central. The MLK 76 connector, not bad at the moment. And 79 St. Bethlehem looks pretty good as well. Now, if you're headed to Nashville this morning, 24 looks fair, but you will hit a couple of slow spots where some construction is ongoing. But after that, you should move along into the Music City. Let's check in with Commander Chuck and see what's going on with the Nashville area traffic.
Well, good morning. It's been really slow go up in the Jolton area from the earlier rank 24 eastbound at the 35-mile marker. Other ranks on here include Antioch Pike at Richards Road, and it's really heavy as we look at it live here on I-40 coming westbound here through Hermitage with all that traffic coming out of Wilson County. Chimney Quest is the best. If you want the best, call Chimney Quest today at 292-7411. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
That's been a look at your traffic and weather together and the latest national news this morning on the Big 1400. It is 7:07, and that means it's time for the Thursday edition of Good Morning Clarksville. Good morning, Chuck Edwards.
Good morning, John Michaels. Who you rooting for? Hey, PSU. Who you rooting for? Hey, PSU. We're getting started this morning. Homecoming at Austin Peay State University.
Company's coming.
We love the 90s. Yes. That's right. Wear your colors. We already dressed Justin so he can go out in the public, right? He's got on his
dress for
colors.
Success.
That's right.
Whoop.
Get ready. Come on, Austin Peay. Good morning. 1400 WJZM Radio 711, 43 degrees going up to around
Thank Kevin
7. I'm sorry?
Oh, sorry.
What?
When you said 7-Eleven, that ad popped in my head. Oh, thank Kevin for 7-Eleven.
No,
Am I
John.
going back a little too far for that?
I was going with the time. You know, we don't even have any 7-Elevens anymore.
We used to.
Yeah, we did.
And
But
they
now
took 'em away.
they've been replaced by all these other marathons and all the other Minute Marts and
Rhino Mart,
yeah,
Minute
High
Mart.
Road. Anyway, but anyway, 43 degrees. Yeah, we'll move on from that. Don't forget Sports Now update coming your way at 7:20.
That's right.
This morning, brought to you by Mr. Appliance with Duncan Swallows on the call.
No, Justin.
What did I say? Duncan?
Yeah.
Help me. He's got me all discombobulated today. Justin Swallows on the call. Yeah. I'll get it right. Can we start over? Can we rewind this and start over again? I guess I'm
Wait a minute. Okay, what time is it?
It is now 7:13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and 7:20 is when Sports Now Update with Justin Swallows comes your way.
That's right.
Brought to you by Mr. Appliance. Musically this hour, some Tavares, the Bee Gees, as well as the Pointer Sisters. A couple of birthdays that we want to talk about. Rebecca Ferguson is 34. You know, she was the girl on the train. She starred in Life, and she's in the new movie The Snowman. She's hot. Desmond Harrington, 41. He was Joey Quinn on Dexter. Chris Kattan is 47. He was Corky Romano. He also had a supporting role in the comedy The Middle. But he had
that one.
Yeah, you missed that one too.
I missed that one.
Wasn't he in that movie that where they kept doing their heads?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
A
Night at Roxbury.
Yeah, that's it.
Trey Parker is 48. Of course, he's the brilliant South Park co-creator who has also created the Broadway show The Book of Mormon. I've never watched South Park.
I can't eat no more pie.
I've never watched South Park.
Cartman. That's my favorite one.
Who?
Cartman.
What about Freddie, the one that dies all the time?
It's Kenny. Not Freddie. Freddie is Freddy Krueger.
I'm done. I'm not doing it.
You should watch an episode or two.
Why?
It might enlighten you. I don't know if your sense of humor would go that way.
I don't know. Well, I had intended to watch it when Isaac Hayes was on there. He played the chef.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance.
I love that.
He passed away before I got a chance
It's
to watch
still
it.
on reruns.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Jon Favreau, whom I like, he directed the first two Iron Man movies. Elf, Cowboys and Aliens. Ty Pennington, 53. He's Extreme Makeover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does the home edition.
Now.
Yeah, he broke up Jill and Joanna.
Chip
and Joanna.
Now you've got him as a Jill and Joanna broke up.
It's better than Chip and Dale, That said yesterday. Evander Holyfield is 55. Today is Evander Holyfield's 55th birthday. He really doesn't want much, just someone to lend him an ear.
Yeah.
John Lithgow
give me a bite.
is 72. He's the one that couldn't stop Kevin Bacon from dancing in Footloose.
Yeah.
And Jeannie C. Riley of the Harper Valley PTA fame.
74.
72. Very good.
Close.
12 days to Halloween, 17 days until daylight savings times ends, 23 days to Veterans Day. You're not depressed.
That's depressing.
And 57 days to Star Wars. The Last Jedi comes your way. So there you have it.
That's
Birthdays on this Thursday. And, of course, today is Teacher Thursday on the Big 1400. We'll have someone representing Rossview High School on the Big 1400 during the 8 o'clock hour. 1400 WJZM Radio. Chuck and John. This is the Thursday edition. It is Teacher Thursday here on the Big 1400. And this is the Austin Peay State University homecoming continues. They've got the, is tonight the volleyball game at 6, and then the Apollo show is at the Student Center.
You're asking me?
So they're having a talent show tonight. I think it starts at like 9 o'clock or something like that. But you can
I think
call.
that's correct.
Yeah.
You can call this number right now for more information.
Operators are standing by.
That's right.
221-7979 to find out exactly about it. Or you can go visit their website at apsu.edu/homecoming. And that way you'll stay in the door. Don't forget, Greg Walker comes your way this afternoon at 4 o'clock.
Sports Talk.
It is the coach. I got his name right. It is the coach here.
Who'd you say?
And he will be talking sports.
Justin Walker.
No, I said coach.
Oh.
Greg Walker.
Oh. Okay.
Expect the unexpected here on
Duncan
Sports
Swallows.
Talk. 4 to 6 this afternoon on the Big 1400. So back in the day.
Yes.
100 years ago in 1972, women volunteers from the Salvation Army deep fried the first donut.
Twinkie. Oh.
No, they deep fried the first donut.
You ever had a deep fried Twinkie?
No, I haven't.
I don't think I want to.
But they're popular. I think are those one of those things you get at carnivals and stuff? Yeah.
Go to the state fair.
But this was during World War I for American troops in France. 82 years ago, Looney Tunes debuted with Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd and the whole cast of characters.
Merry Medleys.
Merry Looney Tunes, yeah. And in 1944, 73 years ago, the U.S. Navy announced that beautiful black women would be allowed to become waves, women accepted for volunteer emergency service.
Oh.
That was back in 1944. 1968, 49 years ago, Jimmy Page's New Yardbirds renamed themselves
Zed Zeppelin.
The Led Zeppelin. After the Who's Keith Moon said they go over like the proverbial lead balloon. So they said, we'll show you.
Yeah.
And so they did.
Didn't do too well, did they?
How'd that turn out? 35 years ago in 1982, John DeLorean was arrested in L.A. for a $24 million cocaine scheme, which is aimed at salvaging his bankrupt sports car company. He was tried and acquitted. And for those of you who go, John DeLorean? Who is he? Remember Back to the Future? That's a DeLorean. That's a DeLorean. Yeah.
So he made that car for the movie?
No. He made that car famous.
Oh.
The movie made that car famous.
Oh, I thought he made it for the movie.
No.
34
years ago in 1983, the Senate approved a bill making the third Monday of January a federal holiday honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And 32 years ago, Take On Me by Aha hit number 1 on the pop singles charts. So there you have it, back in the day.
I do remember that song.
I know you do. Time now for a Sports Now update with Justin Swallows, brought to you by Mr. Appliance on the Big 1400.
This Sports Now update is presented by Mr. Appliance. Get it fixed fast with a quick call to Mr. Appliance at 931-503-7070.
Negativity has been a recent theme around University of Tennessee football as the Vols are still winless in SEC play heading into a Saturday afternoon road battle against Alabama. However, last night, UT freshman quarterback Jarrett Garantano made his major media debut on the Vol Network's weekly call-in show with nothing but positive commentary. Garantano cited head coach Butch Jones as his main reason for choosing to come play in Knoxville, describing the embattled mentor as his second father. He finished by calling the UT football program, quote, on the way up. Garantano will make his second straight start at 2:30 Saturday afternoon against Alabama down in Tuscaloosa. And speaking of college football, the atmosphere promises to be exciting this coming Saturday as Austin Peay celebrates homecoming against Southeast Missouri. The Governors and Redhawks are tied for third place in the Ohio Valley Conference, and the level of of interest in the matchup is nearing an all-time high. Late yesterday, APSU announced that they have completely filled all of their reserved tailgating spots. Fans still looking to tailgate can do so in non-reserved spaces, but must not take up extra parking spots and ensure adequate space for vehicles to navigate parking lots. Homecoming festivities will kick off on Saturday with the downtown parade at 10 a.m. Tailgate lots will officially open up at noon, and the Govs kick off against SEMO at 4 o'clock local time. Lastly, today we head back to Knoxville, where UT head basketball coach Rick Barnes is frantically trying to schedule a second exhibition game for his Volunteers. The Vols have one scheduled against Carson Newman 8 days prior to their regular season opener, but thanks to an NCAA waiver, they are allowed to schedule a second exhibition game with proceeds benefiting hurricane relief efforts. From the WJZM Sports Desk, this is Sports Now, and I'm Justin Swallows.
Don't despair over that busted stove, broken dishwasher, or out-of-order dryer. Just pick up the phone and call Mr. Appliance. He offers flat-rate pricing, meaning there aren't any hidden fees, and he promises an always quick response with same or next-day appointments. Mr. Appliance also gives you a complimentary 1-year parts and labor warranty on every household repair. You can book an appointment anytime by calling 931-503-7070 or by going online to MrAppliance.com/Clarksville.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, where Sports Now Update comes your way at 8:20 this morning. Brought to you by Fox's Barbecue on the Big 1400 with Justin Swallows. This is AWB. Big 1400, WJZM Radio, 44 degrees, going up to around 74 for a high today. Don't forget, we've got the Vol Network Notebook coming your way at 7:50 this morning with Bob Kessler.
Bob?
Brought to you by Copies in a Flash on the Big 1400. You know, everybody seems to be, or well, not everybody, but a lot of the restaurants, they seem to be doing things for Halloween with a Halloween theme, you know, whether it's having a particular type of coffee or something. You know, I was reading.
Spice.
Yeah, there's this restaurant in New York, and they're serving a black chicken.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a black chicken. It's from a breed of chicken called a silky. But they're on Halloween. They're serving this chicken. It's black, always. You know, it's called a silky.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're serving it for Halloween. Chipotle is getting in on the act. They're getting a week's worth of calories for $3. Seems like a pretty good deal, y'all. Chipotle is offering a deal on Halloween where they'll give you a burrito for $3. There's just two conditions. You have to go in after 3 p.m. on the 31st, and you have to be wearing a costume. Well, what are you dressed as, sir? I'm dressed as me. That's my costume.
Yeah, can't they take that?
Yeah. And I'll give you a bonus points if you really pick a costume that will scare people at Chipotle. You know, you could go in and really freak the people at Chipotle out if you were dressed as a health inspector.
Yeah, now that would...
Or a strain of E. coli.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would get their attention.
Yeah, it would.
They'd probably give you a couple of burritos.
Health inspector would probably tear them. I don't know which would tear them up worse.
It would.
Oh, yeah, here he comes.
Yeah.
Clean.
The big 1400. Time now, we need to take a break. We'll be right back.
For real estate services, Byers & Harvey can do it all. Real estate sales, rentals, property management, commercial and residential development. Byers & Harvey is Clarksville's oldest independent real estate company and has given continuous service since 1878. Byers & Harvey have 3 locations to serve you: in North Clarksville, in the heart of downtown, and at Sango. For more information and listings, visit them online at byersandharvey.com. byersandharvey.com. Byers & Harvey, Clarksville's real estate company.
It's the 2017 Model Year-End event at Matthews Nissan. Voted the best place to buy a car at the Best of Clarksville Awards. 700 new and used. Get a new 2017 Altima 2.5S. $16,977. What a deal. 0% APR financing on new 2017 Rogue, new Armada, new Titan, and new Frontier with approved credit. 2017 Versa S Plus. $10,977. Choose the 2017 Truck Trend Pickup Truck of the Year. A new Nissan Titan. And they all come with a 5-year, 100,000-mile bumper-to-bumper limited warranty. Military pay no tax and get extra incentives. Auto credit challenged? We can help. Hurry to Harold Matthews Nissan or MatthewsNissan.com. You're going to love our prices. Stock number 108611, HC 254841, HL 893396. All prices plus tax, title, and license. 657 processing fee included. Dealer to retain Nissan cash. Military offer restricted to full-time personnel stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky or Tennessee-based military facilities. Ends 10/31/17. Source ClarksvilleNow.com. 10/2017.
Hi, I'm Conrad Eddington with Eddington's Etc. Over the years, maybe you have seen our ads with us jumping on a Flexsteel sofa. Let me tell you how good Flexsteel furniture is. I have a wife, 3 daughters, 4 dogs, and a mother-in-law that live with me. And our Flexsteel furniture has survived all of them for 17 years. Let us deliver some real furniture to your home. Let us deliver Flexsteel furniture with a lifetime warranty. Eddington's Etc. 327 Warfield Boulevard, Clarksville, Tennessee.
The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
In your time of loss, you need to know someone cares. Since 1916, Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home has been serving the Clarksville area with the kindness and respect you deserve. It's their goal to provide quality, compassionate services to you and your family during this very difficult time. Mike Parchman and his staff genuinely care and provide prearranged plans that accept insurance to help ease your pain in your time of grief. Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home home, people who care, a name you can trust. Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home, Madison Street in Clarksville.
Commercial loans, Heritage Bank. Those are the only 4 words you need to know to make your commercial project a reality. Whether it's a new building for your business or a new business altogether, the commercial lenders at Heritage Bank can make things happen so you can make your business a success. Call or stop by your local Heritage Bank office today. At Heritage Bank, we're open for business. Your business.
NMLS number 431499. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Bankwithheritage.com.
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio Clarksville area weather. Sunny, 74 for a high today. Clear, 46 for an overnight low. And for Friday, a high of 77 with plenty of sunshine. Currently, it is 43 degrees in downtown Clarksville. Let's go P. Let's go P. Let's go P. It's homecoming, y'all. Good morning, Clarksville.
Look what you done to me. I'm utterly at your whim. All of my defenses down. Your camera looks through me with its X-ray vision, and all systems run aground. All I can manage to push from my lips is a stream of absurdity. Every word I intended to speak winds up locked in a circuitry. No way to control it. It's totally automatic. Whenever you're around, I'm walking blindfolded, completely automatic. All of my systems are down, 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 down. What is this madness that makes my motor run and my legs too weak to stand? I go from sadness to acceleration like a robot at your command. My hands perspire and shake like a leaf. Up and down goes my temperature. I summon doctors to get some relief, but they tell me there is no cure. They tell me no way to control it. It's totally automatic. Whenever you're around, I'm walking blindfolded, completely automatic. All of my systems are down, 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 down. Look what you done to me. I'm utterly at your whim. All of my defenses down. Your camera looks through me with its X-ray vision, and all systems run aground. All I can manage to push from my lips is a stream of absurdity. Every word I intended to speak winds up locked in a circuitry.
Big 1400 WJZM Radio. Chuck and John on this Teacher Thursday. Rossview High School is going to be represented here on the radio during the 8 o'clock hour. I was trying to think of what
today?
I'm sorry?
Are we getting another principal today?
I don't know if we're going to get a principal or not, but
that means
usually
I have to straighten up and fly right when the principal comes.
When the principal comes through,
That's right.
Yeah, we do. I was thinking about, I was trying to think of what Rossview's, they're not the Cougars. What are they? Do you know what they are? They're not the Knights. That's Kenwood.
That's right on the...
But I'm sure they can tell us when they get here.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
I'd rather know.
Let me ask you this, because you do use your phone a lot.
I do.
If you could only keep the phone app or the messages app on your phone, which one would you choose?
If I can only keep one?
Yep. The phone app or the messages app, which one would you choose?
The phone app for which one? For who?
The phone app. The app so you can make phone calls.
Well, you don't need an app to make phone calls.
Well, keep the phone app or the message. Well, which one would you
Or
have?
a text message?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to anybody. Just text me.
Okay. Well, you're with the survey. 73% of the people said that they would go with texting.
See?
I mean, we
got one right.
Yeah, but we use phones for everything except for making phone calls. This survey, and 73% of the people said they would take texting over calling. A couple of other results of this survey: 74% of us communicate with people digitally more than we do face to face.
That's correct.
Yeah. And I guess I would be remorse to say, write a letter. A thank you note?
What's that?
Yeah, really. 70% of us sleep with our phone within an arm's reach. And 52% of us check it if we wake up briefly in the middle of the night.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
You don't check yours?
Only if it's blinking.
Oh.
Otherwise, it just lays there till the next morning.
42% of us have no problem with texting during family dinner, and 28% have no problem texting while they're having a conversation with someone else.
I do not text while I eat.
I know. Roxy'd bite you on the leg if you did. Your ferret would bite you on the leg if
She
you...
would.
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention to her.
I know you don't text while you eat because your hands are greasy with hot sauce from those Fritos that you be eating.
That's right.
And from those daddy sodas.
That's right.
So
that's what I had
understand.
last night.
Fritos with hot sauce and daddy sodas.
No, I didn't have a daddy soda.
Oh.
I had a water.
Oh.
But I did snap into a Slim Jim along the way. So.
But that was for Roxy, right?
No, that one was for me.
Oh, good.
She gets the chicken ones. No, she likes the bacon.
They're chicken Slim Jims?
For ferrets.
Really?
Yeah, she likes bacon. No, she loves
I didn't know that.
Bacon.
The phones have taken... What would you say, what percentage of people would you think have phones?
You mean cell phones?
Yeah.
99%. Most everybody does. I mean, my parents both have iPhones. They text.
Each other across the room?
No, they text me a lot of times.
Well,
everybody texts.
Everybody's texting.
That's right. Nobody talks.
Nobody talks. Nobody writes letters of thank you. But that's the world we live in.
Send a birthday card by email.
Oh man, no, we ain't doing that. We are not doing that. My son's birthday is tomorrow, and I told no. Oh no.
Oh, you have to send a hard copy.
Oh no. Yes, I have
Something
to go.
can hold.
There are certain moments that we have created in our household, and one of those is that on your birthday, you get a birthday card. You don't get it the day after your birthday. You get it on your birthday, and it is a hard copy. Birthday card.
Do you have a certain? Is there only one kind that you or
no
one brand? Or
I pick out the birthday cards. because I am a wordsmith, and I look for, and it may take me, I've spent 15, 20 minutes looking for just the right card.
I just go in and get one. Hey, birthday, here you go. Happy birthday to you. That's okay. That's cool.
And I don't know how much they appreciate. All they care about is that $5 bill that's in there.
What's inside of it?
It's what's inside that counts. The big 1,400. Yeah, that's it.
Money.
As they said somewhere in some long ago galaxy, show me the money.
That's right.
WJZM Radio. Chuck and John, we're just ahead of the Vol Network Notebook with Bob Kessling, brought to you by Copies in a Flash on the Big 1400. A little later on this morning, I'll be telling you about top reasons that you'll never, ever become rich. Never, ever, you know.
Well, I know the number one reason why.
You ain't got no money.
I ain't got no money, and we work in
radio. I know. I was thinking about that.
You gotta love it. You're not
I've got
gonna
a
get
leak
rich.
up under my sink.
Oh,
under my sink. Yeah. So I guess I better call Al Radford. You know.
Yeah, he'll come and fix it.
He will.
He's got to eat lunch first.
He's got to eat lunch.
Yeah.
Busy Bee?
Yeah. He'll be at Busy Bee.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you might catch him over there for breakfast.
Yeah. If you see Al Radford at Busy Bee, tell him Chuck needs him to come out and fix his
That's
the leak up under his sink.
That's right, because you've got a leak.
You know, we're talking about phones, and our culture is changing so much. I was reading an article. Time Magazine just ranked the most influential websites of all time.
Oh.
Now, 10 years ago, would we be talking about a website, the most influential websites? Now we can't get get by without them.
No.
You know.
I know. I'll tell you what, and I'm not looking at your paper, but I would say probably the most influential, and the one I use a lot is Google.
Google is number one.
Really?
Yeah. Google is number one. Hey, is there a Google? We don't have anything associated with Google in this area, do we?
Seems like we might.
Yeah, there's a cryptic company out.
You know what you need to do?
What?
Google it.
Thank you, John. But the most influential websites, Google is number one.
Yes.
Amazon is number two. It's completely changed the way we buy things. And I keep telling Mayor Kim McMillan that we need to change our name to Google, Tennessee, and they'll build that headquarters.
That's right.
Here. You know, but she says, no, they want too much. Anyway, Wikipedia, it's not 100% accurate, but everybody uses it on occasion. I have used Wikipedia. Facebook, it's changed social networking, and it has around 2 billion active users. And YouTube, it makes it easy for anyone to post videos and started the vlogging trend.
Yeah, I watch YouTube most every night, sometime along the way.
Yeah. You ever go to Craigslist?
Well, when I'm looking for a date, I do. Did I say that? Well, sorry, Mr. Policeman. Not really. No, I've never been to Craigslist.
Man, your nose is great. They can see you on Facebook. They can see your nose growing, John.
I don't use Backpage.
Okay.
It's too dangerous.
Yahoo's number 7. Drudge Report was number 8. eBay number 9.
No,
and
Drudge.
InfoCern CH. It was the first website. A guy named Tommy Berners-Lee created the World Wide Web in 1980. Well, what did Al Gore? The internet.
Yeah, Al Gore invented the internet. Don't you know
Okay,
that?
I just want to make sure he gets his due.
That's right.
You know, that's right. Former Vice President. Yeah. The Big 1400, WJZM Radio. Time now for the Vol Network Notebook with Bob Kessling. Brought to you by Copies and a Flash on the Big 1400.
Alabama gave a special one for the McKenzie family. This is the Vol Network Notebook, brought to you by your local Farmers Co-op. Proudly farming Big Orange Country. Tennessee defensive tackle Khalil McKenzie plays in his 3rd Tennessee-Alabama game Saturday when the Vols travel to Tuscaloosa. He's heard a lot about this game his whole life from his family. His dad, Reggie, and his uncle, Raleigh, played on Tennessee teams that beat Alabama 3 straight years from 1982 through 1984. Khalil is well aware of the importance of the Tennessee-Alabama rivalry.
Just hearing about, the rivalry, hearing about, the great players that they played in those games, every guys they recruited that went to Tennessee, guys, and there's all type of stories that, I'm kind of experiencing now that I'm in college. So, it's kind of cool.
Tennessee will be faced with the difficult task of slowing down Alabama's potent rushing attack on Saturday. McKenzie said stopping the run and eliminating missed tackles will be a key in the battle with Bama.
We got to be locked into that, guys fitting gaps, guys playing low up front, guys being physical across the board, tackling on the perimeter, getting off blocks there.
While his dad and his uncle own 3 wins over Alabama, Khalil McKenzie looks for his first Saturday in Tuscaloosa. On football Saturdays at Neyland Stadium, folks from all over the volunteer state gather to form a community of enthusiastic Big Orange fans. Like the team on the field, they give their all to cheer on the Vols to victory. At your local farmer-owned co-op, they also know the importance of community support. It's kept them providing expert advice, friendly service, and quality products in towns across Tennessee for more than 70 years. They give their all to help these hard-working champions of agriculture. Co-op. Proudly farming Big Orange Country. Tennessee and Alabama meet for just the 13th time in Tuscaloosa. Tennessee looks for its 5th win in Tuscaloosa Saturday afternoon. Reporting for the Vol Network, I'm Bob Kessler.
Copies
Copies in a Flash is your one-stop copy design and print supercenter. If you're looking for letterheads, carbonless forms, envelopes, address labels, or anything to do with print, your local Copies in a Flash can handle it all in a flash. Stop in and see Copies in a Flash at 1841 Business Park Drive in Clarksville and see how they can help you on your next project. Copies in a Flash offers free delivery. Visit Copies in a Flash and see all of their offerings at copiesinaflash.com. That's copiesinaflash.com. Copies in a Flash is proud to support our community and say go Big Orange.
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio, Chuck and John, for this Thursday, this Teacher Thursday. We Googled it and found out that the Rossview High School nickname, the Hawks.
The Hawks.
The Hawks, that's right. And they'll be here during the 8 o'clock hour. The Big 1400 WJZM Radio, Chuck and John. It is homecoming week at Austin Peay State University. This year's theme, Homecoming. We love the 90s. Homecoming 2017. And if you want to know more information, you can visit their website at apsu.edu/homecoming to find out about all the activities. They got activities that started yesterday. They've got volleyball games and basketball previews. And, of course, the big games, SEMO, and the tailgating and step shows, and as well as the student talent show, the Apollo. It's Austin Peay Apollo tonight. It
is?
Yeah. They're going to have the talent show. They're calling it the Apollo. The Big 1400, WJZM Radio, headed up to news time. And then next hour, the Rossview Hawks are in the house. The Rossview Hawks are in the house.
That's right.
That's right. The Big 1400, these are the BGs. Big 1400, WJZM Radio, 802, 45 degrees. We'll take an extended look at our weather forecast after this update in Clarksville's continuing news.
The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. A police chief in Delaware says a suspect in the shooting of 6 people in Delaware and Maryland discarded a handgun and ran when police spotted him.
A suspect did discard a .380 firearm, and which has also been recovered, and he was taken into custody with no incident, nobody hurt, no further civilians hurt, and our police officers are safe as well.
Police say 37-year-old Rady Prince shot 6 people in all, killing 3. A second judge has blocked the Trump administration's latest travel ban. Correspondent Mike Hempen reports.
U.S. District Judge Theodore Chuang granted a nationwide preliminary injunction after another U.S. District Judge, Derek Watson in Hawaii, blocked the revised ban. The new restrictions had been scheduled to take effect today. Chuang's ruling says the administration has not shown that national security cannot be maintained without an unprecedented 8-country travel ban. Watson wrote that the new ban fails to show that nationality alone makes a person a great security risk to the U.S. I'm Mike Hempen.
Authorities say a woman and her 5 children were killed in a fire that destroyed their Texas home. Pastor Randy Feldshaw telling KTRK the relatives are all hurting.
Please be in prayer for the family. You can understand how difficult this is.
A new study is out on children and the media. Shirley Smith has a report.
Common Sense Media found that less affluent youngsters spend nearly 3.5 hours a day watching TV and using varied devices, smartphones, tablets, laptops, and video game players. By comparison, kids in higher income homes spend just under 2 hours on such activities. The survey also found that Latino parents express the most concern about what their children are exposed to in the media, including sex, violence, racial, and gender stereotypes.
That is correspondent Shirley Smith reporting, and this is SRN News. Most pastors don't want the IRS looking over their shoulders.
A new poll released by Lifeway Research finds 73% of America's Protestant clergymen do not believe the Internal Revenue Service should have the power to punish a church because of the content of the sermons. 21% of pastors feel the IRS is within its rights. Southern preachers, evangelicals, and members of the Pentecostal, Holiness, and Baptist traditions are the most likely to say that pastors should be free to say whatever they like in the pulpit. Michael Harrington, SRN News.
An illegal immigrant is seeking sanctuary in a church for the second time. The 33-year-old Peruvian woman has entered a Foothills Unitarian Church in Fort Collins, Colorado, rather than board a Tuesday flight to her native country as ordered by U.S. immigration authorities. Her 2 U.S.-born children are with her inside the church building. The woman entered the U.S. illegally back in 2002, and she first sought sanctuary at a Quaker meeting house. This is SRN News. Toyota is recalling more than 347,000 Sienna minivans worldwide because they can shift out of the park position and roll away.
The recall involves Siennas from the 2005 to 2007 and 2009 to 2010 model years. Most are in the U.S. Toyota's also recalling 24,000 in Canada. Toyota says the grease used in the shift lever assembly could transfer to other components, causing them to work improperly. In particular, the shifter can move out of park even if the driver isn't pressing the brake pedal. It won't move out of position if the parking brake is activated. Toyota won't say if it knows of any accidents related to the defect. The company will notify owners by mid-December. Dealers will repair the vehicles for free. Keith Peters reporting.
Officials say the 22-year-old son of a Florida sheriff's lieutenant took his father's unmarked car and used it to pull over his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend. He's now out of a job. More details at srnnews.com.
Guess who's on the cutting edge of up-to-date checking services? Heritage Bank. That's who. You know we're neighborly. You know we're trustworthy. Now know that we have the edge on checking accounts. With Edge Checking, you get benefits like shopping discounts, cell phone protection, and roadside assistance. Now you can be on the cutting edge with a new checking account at Heritage Bank. We're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. Member FDIC, bankwithheritage.com.
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio, Clarksville area weather. Nice, plenty of sunshine. Expect a high today of around 74. Clear tonight. 46 for an overnight low. For Friday, as we move into the weekend, expect a high of 77. Football weather Friday night, overnight low around 52. More sunshine on Saturday, 80 for an expected high. Currently, 45 degrees in downtown Clarksville. With a look at traffic, here's John Michaels.
Good morning. Traffic around the city and the county looking very good at the moment. It's only slow in a couple of spots, really. Looks like 41A out in Sango is slow. That's with all the construction in that area. And also down on Riverside Drive and New Providence Boulevard looks to have a couple of slow spots as well. If you're headed to Nashville, 24 looks good all the way into Davidson County. I see just one slow spot along the way where some construction is ongoing. And if you are headed to Nashville for your morning commute, well, let's check in with Commander Chuck and see what's going on with the Nashville area traffic.
Good morning. Still very heavy here on 40 westbound coming through Donaldson right now. As you try to get past Spence Lane, it's heavy out here also. 65 south at Trinity Lane. A lot of traffic now. 65 still coming up through Brentwood at the moment. 40 still looking good out at Dixon. 65 north at 440. That appeared to be a minor accident. Don't miss the Bill Goodman's Gun and Knife Show. It's this weekend, the 21st, 22nd at the Wilson County Expo Center in Lebanon. Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 9 to 4. I'm Commander Chuck. Your on-time traffic.
That's been a look at your traffic and weather together this morning on the Big 1400 and the latest national news, all brought to you by Heritage Bank. It is 8:08 And that means it's time for hour number 2 of Good Morning Clarksville with Chuck Edwards. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, John Michaels. It is Teacher Thursday here on the Big 1400. That means that we have guests from Rossview High School.
Company's calling.
Yeah, Shonda Dowdy, who is the principal, and she drug along some guy. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway.
You know, they always send a principal to keep me straight.
Ricky Martin.
Yeah.
Ricky Martin,
Ricky
the singer.
Martin. Oh.
Ricky Martin, the singer.
Oh,
Isn't he a singer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that right. Anyway, but they're going to spend some time with us. They're representing the Hawks.
The Hawks.
Of Rossview High School on the Big 1400. WJZM Radio. Chuck and John, y'all.
If you could only see through my eyes,
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio having some fun with Shonda Dowdy, and she's the principal at Rossview High School. This is Teacher Thursday, and Rick Martin is the athletic director and assistant principal. And
living the Vida Loca.
Yeah, and he's done a little radio in high school.
I was a brain surgeon in kindergarten.
In another life.
Yeah.
In another life. Anyway, thank you all for coming in. Good morning. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Good. Representing. How long have you been principal at Rossview?
This is my
Shonda?
second year.
Oh.
I've been there since the building opened, but this is my second year as the principal.
I ask everybody this. Why did you get into teaching?
Because
Shonda?
I loved kids, and I wanted to have a positive impact on the world, really.
Yeah. When did you know that that's what you wanted to do?
In college, I decided in college that I wanted to be a teacher and and make a difference and work with kids.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I found, I live in a house of teachers, is that,
I'm sorry.
Rick, and you can chime in on this too, is that there comes a time when you decide you want to be a teacher, and then for a lot of people, there's another level when you decide you want to move from the classroom to be in administration or something else. You went from that to being a principal. And so now, do you ever, after 2 years of being principal, you ever want to go back into the classroom?
I do some days miss teaching, but I still have the opportunity. When you have 1,706 students and 135 employees, I have the opportunity every day to teach. And as far as the transition from being a teacher to going out and becoming an assistant principal and then a principal, that's exactly what happened. I had 130 essentially students in my classroom, and one day I realized I wanted to work with more kids.
Yeah.
And that's what made me step out of the classroom.
What about you, Rick? You know, you're the athletic director, assistant principal. Do you have visions of grandeur?
That is visions of grandeur. I think when I grew up...
That's two hats. That's enough hats right there.
That might be two hats too many, Dr. Dowdy would tell you. I think sometimes when you say that, coaches were the most influential people in my life, both wrong and right. And I can remember them saying, I remember Coach walking in saying, Rick, I understood the other day in Latin class you didn't behave very well. I can't wait to see you at practice today. And obviously he made me run some extra, which he should have done.
There were a couple of wind sprints, yeah.
Sure. So I just think those people had such an influence on me that I wanted to be a coach, wanted to be a teacher. Like Dr. Dowdy, I'd coach for a while and then kind of wanted to spend more time with my children. We have literally worked together about 10 years. So it became, when Shanda says about being the principal, Rick Martin and John Miller wanted her to be the principal as soon as Frank Myers, our former principal, decided that he wanted to retire. And so we've been together for so long. It's just been a blessing to all of us.
Yeah. Rossview High School, is that the newest high school?
No, West Creek has been
West
built.
Creek, that's
yes,
right.
Sir.
I keep forgetting about West Creek. The Coyotes.
Correct.
I got that right.
That's correct.
I got that right. You know, are you from Clarksville, Dr. Dowdy?
I am not. Well, I've been here for 19 years now, so I'm not sure at what point
you are.
you say you're from Clarksville.
What do you say, John? She's from here? Yeah, 19 years? Yeah, you from here.
So from this point on, I guess I am.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And so, well, you've seen Clarksville grow.
Absolutely.
You've seen, Rick, you've seen Clarksville grow.
Yes, sir.
And you know, it's grown just everywhere. It seems like we're bursting at the seams. And you know, we've got, I think, at least total 39 schools. So, you know, the challenge, I guess, is to stay on the front of the cutting edge of education here in Clarksville, Montgomery County, Dr. Dowdy. How do you do that?
And I think you're exactly right. I've watched Rossview in itself grow from 1,200 kids to 1,706 kids. Mm-hmm. And I think that the good thing about Clarksville as a whole is that we continue to grow positively. Yeah. Some communities, as they grow, it negatively affects them, but that's not happening here.
Yeah, you know, and let me just interrupt something because Mr. House told me when he was on here, he's a character.
He is.
You know, but he told me, you know, because I asked him about charter schools, and he says when you hear about charter schools, that means that the system has some issues. And the reason we don't have any charter schools is because we don't have any issues in the Clarksville Montgomery County school system. And I thought that was pretty, you know, enlightening for him to, you know, to know that. A lot of people don't realize that.
And I think, to go back to your question, too, we hire only the best. If you look at our bus drivers and our cafeteria workers and our teachers and even our school resource officers, in Clarksville, Montgomery County, we take time to hire the absolute best people. And when you put those people in front of kids every day, in front of students, no matter their level, that's what makes the difference. Yeah. And so great things are happening.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, Rick, to think about that when you and I were in high school. Well, no, I was in high school before you. But even when you were coming up in high school, and you, Dr. Dowdy, SRO? What's SRO? Standing room only is what I knew SRO to mean. You know, I didn't know it meant a school resource officer, you know. So there have been a lot of changes, and some have been met with hesitation, but some have been for the better, don't you think?
Well, think about when we were young that many of our friends, our students, would hunt in the morning and have a hunting rifle in their vehicle during the school day. Obviously, today, we wouldn't want any child at any time to have any weapon on school. And yet, when we were young, I would say 10% of the males at my school would hunt at 4:30 in the morning. come to school all day, and they would obviously store their guns. You would go right out in the trucks and see guns in there.
Sure.
But we never thought at that time that someone would use something like that in a violent way. We never thought that someone would turn something like that on another individual.
Yeah, our culture has changed. Go ahead, Dr.
And I think also our school resource officers, both elementary, middle school, and high school, they are part of our culture. They teach our kids. They go into classrooms and they teach and they work with our parents. And so they're really, I mean, yes, they're a law enforcement officer, but they've done such a great job of becoming part of our school community that our kids confide in them.
That's
they
a great
trust
statement.
them, and they're really in a teaching role as well. And so it's just, we're all a part of a great big team. And
one big happy family of Hawks
That's
at
right.
Rossview.
That's right.
Dr. Shonda Dowdy is our guest. She's the principal at Rossview High School. Rick Martin, the singer, he also has another job, and he's the athletic director and assistant principal at Rossview. It is Teacher Thursday here on the Big 1400. Time now for a Sports Now update on the Big 1400 with Justin Swallows, brought to you by Fox's Barbecue.
This Sports Now update is presented by Power and Grace Preparatory Academy. Now enrolling students in pre-K through 3rd grade online at powerandgraceacademy.com.
Negativity has been a recent theme around University of Tennessee football as the Vols are still winless in SEC play heading into a Saturday afternoon road battle against Alabama. However, last night, UT freshman quarterback Jarrett Garantano made his major media debut on the Vol Network's weekly call-in show with nothing but positive commentary. Garantano cited head coach Butch Jones as his main reason for choosing to come play in Knoxville, describing the embattled mentor as his second father. He finished by calling the UT football program, quote, on the way up. Garantano will make his second straight start at 2:30 Saturday afternoon against Alabama down in Tuscaloosa. And speaking of college football, the atmosphere promises to be exciting this coming Saturday as Austin Peay celebrates homecoming against Southeast Missouri. The Governors and Redhawks are tied for 3rd place in the Ohio Valley Conference, and the level of interest in the matchup is nearing an all-time high. Late yesterday, APSU announced that they have completely filled all of their reserved tailgating spots. Fans still looking to tailgate can do so in non-reserved spaces, but must not take up extra parking spots and ensure adequate space for vehicles to navigate parking lots. Homecoming festivities will kick off on Saturday with the downtown parade at 10 a.m. Tailgate lots will officially open up at noon, and the Govs kick off against SEMO at 4 o'clock local time. Lastly, today we head back to Knoxville, where UT head basketball coach Rick Barnes is frantically trying to schedule a second exhibition game for his Volunteers. The Vols have one scheduled against Carson Newman 8 days prior to their regular season opener, but thanks to an NCAA waiver, they are allowed to schedule a second exhibition game with proceeds benefiting hurricane relief efforts. From the WJZM Sports Desk, this is Sports Now, and I'm Justin Swallows.
With the Christ Center curriculum and a high expectation for academic mastery, Power and Grace Preparatory Academy has set the gold standard for elementary learning. Certified by the Tennessee Department of Education, they've extended their offerings to include music, art, and Spanish. Additionally, students will be participating in STEAM Fridays, emphasizing science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Before and after care is available, spanning from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and enrollment is open for children in pre-K through the 3rd grade. For more info, visit powerandgraceacademy.com or call 931-320-9862.
The Big 1400 WJZM Radio, where we've got another Sports Now update coming your way at 9:20, brought to you by Power and Grace Preparatory Academy. Did I get that right? Yeah. With Justin Swallows on the Big 1400. It is Teacher Thursday. We got representatives from Rossview High School, Dr. Shonda Dowdy. I'm going to get your name right. I'm going to get it right. She's the principal. She brought along athletic director and assistant principal Rick Martin here. Rick, what do you do as the athletic director? What are you in charge of?
What is he
I
in
mean,
charge
I know
of?
that you do a lot of, but explain to me, because athletic directors, that kind of came along when?
About 30, 40 years ago. If you said to me, just like athletic director, I remember the first week I'm there, a parent says to me, the sound system's not working down at the stadium. So obviously we have a football game about to be played, and we have one speaker that's working and 3 of them that are not. Well, again, I really appreciate the parents saying that to me, and so that becomes priority number 1. I remember saying to Dr. Dowdy, priority number 2 is we have a restroom situation that doesn't seem to be working, and we're about to have 2,000 people. We got a real problem. So as you can see, it was a lot nicer sometimes coaching. I was always nervous, wondering if we had the right game plan. Sometimes I think Dr. Dowdy and I are a little nervous on game day day, making sure we might have the commodes working on that certain day. That might be a good thing.
Yeah, you know, Rick, the idea of, you're the athletic director, so sometimes you and Dr. Dowdy have to sit down and make decisions that aren't easy as to the direction of a particular sport. Is that right?
Absolutely. And we, of course, we worked together for 10 years, but what we've always kept at the core of all of our decision are what's best for students. And when you make that the core of what you do every day and the core of your decision making, it makes it pretty easy. And they're not easy decisions, and tough conversations have to be had, but we know where we stand and what we're doing and why we're doing it.
So it's not necessarily W's and L's?
No, sir. I'll give you an example. This year would be we have a first-year football coach, Coach Hood, doing an outstanding job with our football team. Opening night, we lost one of the worst games. Very tough loss against Clarksville High School. And I remember saying after the game, it was just a very disappointing performance for our football team on that night. And boy, to watch them the next week in practice, to watch them come together, to watch them work hard, to do what we all say we should. And boy, that football team's won 5 of their last 6 games. And the only loss is to 5th-ranked Mount Juliet, where we played them 31-17 when nobody else had even scored on them. Our football team is just a different program today. And I think Dr. Dowdy and I, our job is when Coach Hood loses that game to say, hey, we're doing all the right things. Keep working. Keep doing your plan. Keep things going the right way. Sometimes as coaches, we all get into a losing situation where we lose 3 or 4, and now we want to change everything when it's really not changing things. We're right there. And I think that's what we try to do.
We need him up in Knoxville, John. He needs.
Sir, that's not.
Yeah,
that's,
he's not going.
Keeping him
not going. Let's talk about Rossview High School. Your academy for
media arts.
Okay.
We're in a media arts academy.
And as we've had Montgomery Central, and we had Kenwood, and we had Northwest. Each school is a specific academy.
Correct. Each school has an academy within their school that students can apply for and come to. And ours is media arts and design. Essentially, it's graphic design. Mm-hmm. A perfect example of our academy is if you've driven around the library lately and you've seen the signs that say, enjoy the fresh, clean air. Our kids designed those for the health department and the county commission, and those were approved and accepted by the county commission. So that's one example of the work that our students have done.
Well, I keep going back. I keep thinking, I've seen this book. And it was a book of pictures and different mediums of art. Is that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I saw the medicine shop. I think that's where I saw
it.
Sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yep.
And so that's part of your work, the work
yes,
that
sir,
you all
it
do?
Is. And
are those books on sale, Dr. Dowdy?
No, sir. Jostens prints those for Clarksville, Montgomery County schools,
okay.
And it highlights work from students at every high school, actually, so that our students who are very artistically talented have a way to put their work out there.
Yeah. We're talking with Dr. Shonda Dowdy, who is a principal at Rossview High School, and athletic director Rick Martin, who is the assistant principal also. 1,700 students. Are you over capacity? That seems like y'all be busting at the seams.
We have a lot of students, but we also have a lot of really great teachers too.
Yeah.
And so I don't think we look at it that way. We've never sat down and had a conversation of we're over capacity. We've got too many kids here. We just welcome them all, and if they show up, we're going to teach them and do the best we can with them. So.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges that you see in today's high school, Rick, Dr. Dowdy?
First challenge I would say is we're talking about a situation of mobility of where children come to us. Mobility. And they might come to Rossview having been to 7 schools in the last 3 years. And let's be honest, consistency in a family, consistency in a school, consistency when you're that age. Think of all of us when we were 14, 15, 16. Boy, consistency in our days being the same over and over. So sometimes we have kids, the first thing we want to do is, like Dr. Dowdy said, welcome them. We are glad you're here, because they'll say to us when we have like a new student meeting, geez, you guys, you want to meet us. Well, we got to get to know you. We want you to be successful here. We want you to enjoy your time here. We want it to be productive for all of us. Yeah. So sometimes I think mobility today with children going different places. I grew up in the same school system, K through 12, and there are many people that would say the same thing. And boy, today's kids have been all over the world, and that brings unique experiences too. Let's be honest, positive experiences.
Yeah. One of the things, I'm a military brat, and so my kids ask me, say, well, what did you what did you miss about being in a regular life, and what did you enjoy?
Sure.
What did you? And I
Yes,
say
sir.
the one thing I enjoyed was I got a chance to go all over the world.
Sir.
The thing I missed is I don't remember anybody from my kindergarten class.
Sure.
I did. You know, you run into people, and I have friends, and of course they went to high school, and with a lot of the same kids that they went to the kindergarten with. I didn't have that luxury. What about you, Dr. Dyson?
I actually was raised in a very small town in Kentucky, and so graduated with 47 kids. Eddyville. I was really from Katoa, but I say Eddyville.
The big house?
That's exactly right, where the maximum security state penitentiary
But they
is.
also got a great water park.
That's
so
right.
we got to give them their dues.
That's exactly right. So I went with a lot of the same kids, and I think from kindergarten to senior year, we gained maybe 2 students. But that's the thing, and the reason that I was drawn to stay here in Clarksville when my husband got married. My husband was a soldier, and we got married, and I actually own a farm still in Kentucky. But I wanted my kids to have the unique experience of being able to interact with kids from all over the world, exactly like you said, and to have the opportunities that Clarksville provides. And I love my hometown, but they wouldn't have those same rich opportunities that they have here.
And you love your adopted hometown.
That's right.
You've been here now. We're talking with Dr. Shonda Dowdy. She's the principal at Rossview High School, and Rick Martin, who's the athletic director and assistant principal. The reality is this, and correct me if I'm wrong. My perception is that the Rossview students have similarities with Clarksville High and Northwest and Northeast and Kenwood and all the other high schools. They also have some distinct differences. Would you say that that population? I mean, there's a difference, and that difference is something that you all have to call and make sure that people are still able to get the same quality education that the kids say at Northeast or some of the other, because the demographics of those students, and you all, I'm sure you all chart that and you all understand that. Does that make sense?
It does. I think what I think you're expanding on is when the school was started 17 years ago, Mr. Myers did a great job of hiring teachers whose
Rossview's 17 years old?
Correct. Whose number one priority was to care about kids. And so that was his platform. We're going to hire people, the very best teachers who care about kids, and we're going to let them do their job. And then from that, it's just evolved over the past 17 years. And so I think people have maybe a misconception about Rossview, because we actually have 36% of our students who are on free and reduced lunch. And I think people miss that part of our population.
They do, because on the outside looking in,
yes.
They drive by that beautiful campus.
Correct.
And they forget, that.
And I think people see the data, and people see our graduation rate has fluctuated between a 96 to a 99% consistently for about 10 years. And when people see that data, they instantly think that we only have one kind of student, but that's actually very inaccurate. Our ACT was a 22, the highest that it's ever been since we started testing all students, the highest in the district, above the state. And when people see that kind of data, they immediately just kind of want to fill in the blanks as to what's happening. But our school is actually very diverse. Very diverse. And we have a lot of different kids from a lot of different backgrounds, which is my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, I think that that being said, a lot of that still, you have the kids who are from military families, and you're finding more and more families who are living in all different areas of Clarksville now. It's not just North Clarksville, and it's not, so anyway. Dr. Shonda Dowdy is our guest. She's the principal at Rossview High School. Rick Martin is the athletic director and assistant principal. Give us some numbers. Tell us, brag on. Go ahead. I'm going to give you. I want some numbers. I want some hard facts, some data. Talk about your some of the things at Rossview.
I think our graduation rate's a big one. It's our job to give our kids a diploma and make sure that they're college and career ready. And when you can take 1,706 kids and have a 98.5, can we round that up? Is that okay?
Yeah.
To a 99.
Round it
Okay.
up, yeah.
All right. Thank you. A 99% graduation rate. I think that speaks volumes of the work that the 135 employees at Rossview High School do.
Yeah.
And that's one starting point. And when you break the data down and you look at, our Algebra 1, our Algebra 2, our geometry, our English scores, they're consistently higher than other schools in our district and other schools in our state.
Yeah.
Our teachers just do a great job, and our students do as well.
How do you motivate staff to continue doing the great job that they're doing?
They love it. They take pride in their school. They want to be the best. And again, they're great. I mean, all of the
So then
employees
you
that we
tell me
have
you
just
own a farm?
I do.
And so you know what a cattle prod is.
I don't own a cattle farm. I actually own a tobacco farm, but I do know what a cattle prod is. Yes, sir.
So I was just wondering, I'm not saying you
don't have to use those.
I'm not saying Rick Martin walks down the hallway using a cattle prod.
No, he doesn't. But to connect it back to the farm days, the people in our building work so hard day in and day out.
Yes,
and our
ma'am.
students do as well. And you're just not going to see that everywhere. And it just, it just blows. And referencing back to, our students that other people might consider to be at risk, we actually have 100% graduation rate with our kids that most schools would say were at risk of dropping out. And that's something that I'm really, really proud of. As far as like our higher end students, our AP students in both lit and language this year, 92% of our kids pass their AP test, which gives them college credit. And the national average is 50%. And our kids pass at 92. How does that happen? Kids working hard, a teacher working hard. And it's just the people.
It would seem like, Dr. Dowdy, it would be collective. That, we're all working towards that common goal. Rick, how do you inspire the kids? It's changed, I guess, since you were in college and you were first started out as an educator, that everybody's not going to a 4-year college. College is not for everyone. And how do you still inspire them to understand that you've got options besides a 4-year college?
Well, think of our military community. When you think of something like our ROTC program, our ROTC program is an outstanding program with many children that when we talk about scholarships, when we talk about going someplace and getting the kind of skills that they get through the military, when you look at 2-year colleges, I mean, everybody doesn't have to go to a 4-year college. When you look at trade schools, when you look at people becoming an automotive mechanic, when I was first down here, I taught a GED course, and I had a guy in there that was an automobile mechanic that I want to make it clear, made big money, and people
they do
make big money. Big money. They brought trucks from all over.
They make big money.
Big money.
We just recently found out that they make big money. Yeah, they do. And in fact, I've got to get in touch with a plumber this morning.
And I think opportunities, the Tennessee Promise, which allows students to go to a community college or a technical school for 2 years for free, has really opened up a lot of opportunities for our students. And so just making sure our students are informed and educated about those. And just a few weeks ago, and Rick can attest to this, we had a college and career readiness week for our students, and we brought in over 60 community volunteers who did mock interviews with our kids, trying to get them ready for jobs. There's a Tennessee job bus where our kids got on there and they were able to apply for over 2,000 open positions in the state of Tennessee. And there were job coaches there to help them with that application process. And so it's just meeting kids where they are, saying, what do you want to do after high school? Our job is for you to be college and career ready, whatever that means to you, and just making those opportunities available for them. And our military recruiters are a huge part of our school. Our community is. The day we did our mock interviews, I really thought we would have about 60 seniors that wanted a mock interview. We had 253 that said, I would like the opportunity to do that. And I thought, how am I going to find enough people to interview these kids? How can this happen? Just a few emails. I had Clarksville Police Department, they sent 10 employees, because I have lots of kids interested in law and that kind of thing. Austin Peay State University. I mean, I had so many organizations that sent people to help us make that day possible, and just opening up for our kids to have opportunities wherever you are. We want to make that next step possible for you.
Cool. Rossview High School, the Hawks, Dr. Shonda Dowdy, and Athletic Director Rick Martin, Assistant Principal. Your teachers, your staff, what do you look for in staff?
People who love kids. People who love kids. That's what I look for. I want somebody who's going to show up every day, no matter what kind of day they're having, and no matter what kind of student I put in front of them, they can find a way to love students.
Yeah, I keep going back, Dr. Dowdy. Man, 1,700 students. I mean, that's so. I mean, and what a lot of people don't realize is that you don't work from September to May.
No, definitely not.
Duh. I mean, it's constantly. I mean, I know you do get some time off, but, you're planning and you sit, Rick, and, you all, it's not just a September to May job anymore.
Well, we giggle sometimes. The week that Austin P helped us with the football situation, we went over, we had rain one week, and we were not the only school, but boy, Austin P reached out, and we went to their field, obviously, to play. Yeah. And I would say to you that Todd Hood sent an email, our football coach, and he says, Shandon and Rick answered me at 4:30 in the morning. Well, think about what you're talking about. We're all up trying to figure out how we're going to do this, what things do we have to get done, logistically, how can we plan this, etc. Sometimes those are long days, and yet they're exciting days. They're days where at the end of the day you're tired, but you're a good tired. You feel like we might have accomplished something.
And you can see it. It's right there. And I have a visible confirmation that I accomplished something today.
Well, and when you love what you do, it doesn't seem like work. And it becomes part, like our families, our Rossview and our families are our families. It just kind of all becomes one. A really good example of that is this week, I have a kindergarten son and a freshman son, which is very interesting. And my kindergarten son was asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he told his teacher he wanted to be a school resource officer. And I giggled in my head because I thought, okay, what kindergartner knows what a school resource officer is? Well, the reason mine does is because from the time he's been in an infant carrier, he's been at things with us. Right. And he's been around them. And they're his buddies, He thinks.
They're packing.
And, and it just, when you love what you do, you make it a part of who you are, and it becomes part of your family, and that's really what makes Rossview different. My teachers, our coaches, the work our coaches put in with kids, and my freshman son is an athlete. He plays 2 sports. The amount of time his coaches put into him is just, it's unbelievable, and the things that they teach him when I'm not there really make a difference.
So transitionally, Rick, you're kind of in the middle between football winding down and basketball cranking up.
Yes, sir. Now, football, we hope to go someplace in football. We've got a huge game Friday night at Hendersonville. We're 2-1 in the region. They're 2-1 in the region. No other way to say it. Hendersonville, then Lebanon the following week are huge games for us as to where we end up in the playoffs. So these are, Coach Hood would tell you if he were here right now, football season playoffs started for Rossview right now, because the next 2 games, and then obviously looking to the playoffs, we have 3 games that are crucial to our football season. Yes, sir.
And then we got basketball kicking off in a month?
Yep, basketball about a month. I just talked to Coach Jackson yesterday, and he was talking about we might have to move our first game, our Hall of Fame game, because it's a Friday night at Summit, and I think they were saying they might be playing football or we might be playing football, so obviously on that night, so we just talked about
conflict.
Right,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
And so we got, how many sports do you oversee at
I think we have 14.
Wow.
We have cross country still going on. Our kids are going to the regional competition.
Okay. Region is next Thursday. And again, when you say region, there's 24 teams there, 3 advance, 21 go home. Our girls are the defending champion, the first Montgomery County team that's ever won that region.
Cross country?
Yes, sir.
Very good. And that's next week.
That's
Correct.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
And we also had a state golf place this year.
See how Shanda preps me? This is what we do all the time.
Okay.
Catherine Caudell finished 2nd in the state in golf. We're very proud of that. She's going to go to MTSU to play with her sister. Rick Martin is her swing coach. That is not true. I want to make that true. That is not true. That is not true. Rick Martin's rule in golf says whatever fairway I hit, I play that hole. But I'm serious, Catherine. We're really excited about her. Our volleyball team just won the district championship, 19-4 overall. Their season ended in the region. So, again, a lot of positive things going on athletically, but can't emphasize enough. Tomorrow night at Hendersonville. Then next Friday, we'd love you all to come watch us, Lebanon, Rossview, at Rossview next Friday night. Be a great game.
Yeah. As we wind down. Thank you all very much for coming in.
No problem.
Appreciate knowing more about the Rossview Hawks. Good seeing you again, Rick.
Oh, it's great seeing you.
Tell Marisol I said
I
hi.
sure will, and you tell Miss Boyd.
Yeah, it is Rossview High School. It is Teacher Thursday here on the Big 1400. Dr. Shanda Dowdy, the principal, as well as Athletic Director Rick Martin in the house. The Big 1400, we roll along.
Black cats and voodoo dolls. I feel a premonition.
real estate services, Byers & Harvey can do it all. Real estate sales, rentals, property management, commercial and residential development. Byers & Harvey is Clarksville's oldest independent real estate company and has given continuous service since 1878. Byers & Harvey have 3 locations to serve you: in North Clarksville, in the heart of downtown, and at Sango. For more information and listings, visit them online at buyersandharvey.com. buyersandharvey.com. Byers & Harvey, Clarksville's real estate company.
Jackson's Body Shop downtown. Jackson's Body Shop downtown. It's your car, it's your voice. Jackson's Body Shop, the best choice. Dents, dings, major body repair. A pre-loaner car, 'cause we really care. Jackson's Body Shop downtown. Jackson's Body Shop downtown. Call 647-6989 or Jackson's.
Was your New Year's resolution to lose weight, but you haven't been able to accomplish this? Then come to the Doctor's Diet Program at 231 Dover Road. They're open Tuesdays and Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Doctor's supervised weight loss can be achieved by following the simple diet plan. Whether you want to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, the Doctor's Diet Program can help. Call them today at 931-906-5555. That's 931-906-5555.
The Big 1400 is WJZM, Clarksville, Fort Campbell, Hopkinsville.
It's the 2017 Model Year-End Event at Matthews Nissan. Voted the best place to buy a car at the Best of Clarksville Awards. 700 new and used. Get a new 2017 Altima 2.5S, $16,977. What a deal. 0% APR financing on new 2017 Rogue, new Armada, new Titan, and new Frontier with approved credit. 2017 Versa S Plus, $10,977. Choose the 2017 Truck Trend Pickup Truck of the Year. A new Nissan Titan, and they all come with a 5-year, 100,000-mile bumper-to-bumper limited warranty. Military pay no tax and get extra incentives. Auto credit challenged? We can help. Hurry to Harold Matthews Nissan or MatthewsNissan.com. You're going to love our prices. Stock number 108611 HC 254841 HL 893396. All prices plus tax, title, and license. $657 processing fee included. Dealer to retain Nissan cash. Military offer restricted to full-time personnel stationed to Fort Campbell, Kentucky or Tennessee-based military facilities. Ends 10/31/17. Source ClarksvilleNow.com. 10/2017.
Looking for a new golf experience? Tired of playing the same old courses? Try Clarksville's newest golf course, the River Club Golf and Learning Center, located along the Red River. The picturesque River Club offers some of the area's best golf, putting greens, and driving ranges. And while you're there, stop by and have lunch in the clubhouse or enjoy some live music in the evenings. It's open to the public and waiting for you. The River Club Golf and Learning Center, Clarksville's premier golf experience. Call the River Club of Clarksville today for more information. 931-919-3200. The River Club of Clarksville.
The Big 1400, WJZM Radio. We appreciate Dr. Shonda Dowdy and Rick Martin.
Nice folks.
From Rossview High School, coming spending some time with us. Go Hawks! Go Hawks! Clarksville area weather, mostly sunny today, 74 for an expected high, 46 for an overnight low. And for Friday, we move into the weekend, a high tomorrow of 77, overnight low for football weather on Friday, 52. Saturday, 84 high, and Sunday, 74 with some clouds moving in, and that's when we have the best chance of rain coming our way. Currently,
that'll be after homecoming.
I know. 45 degrees in downtown Clarksville.
I got chills, they're multiplying.
Big 1400 WJZM Radio. I told you earlier that I had some top reasons that you and I will never be rich.
All right.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Wait. Let me get my paper. I don't have enough. I don't have any paper over here.
Now, this goes along with the Forbes list of the 400 richest Americans. Okay. And they put their
Was radio in there?
No.
It wasn't? Why not?
And, you know,
trying to tell me?
I'm going to tell you why our names will never be in the Forbes
magazine
list of 400 richest
we
Americans.
We won't be like the Donald?
First of all, money requires a job. A job requires a car.
A real job.
A car requires a license.
A real job.
And a license requires sobriety.
I need to lay the whiskey alone. That's right.
Top reasons you'll never be rich. You had a chance to buy stock in either Google or Bing. Guess which one you chose?
Bing.
Yes. Customers rarely tip cashiers at Dollar Tree.
Well.
Yep. Your savings account generates as little interest as your Tinder account.
Ooh.
There's no such thing as a fantasy baseball scout.
There's not.
That's my job. I'm a fantasy baseball scout. Banks rarely lend to someone who fills out his name on a loan application as the man. Top reasons that you'll never, ever be rich. You operate a bed and breakfast called Donuts and Bed Bugs.
That sounds appetizing.
Top reasons you'll never be rich. You've got a daily latte habit at Starbucks. That's it.
Yeah, $29.99.
Yeah. You think the greatest technological advancement in the last 100 years is the snooze button. Sometimes I just want to reach over there and hit that rascal.
I do.
Yeah.
I do reach over and hit it probably twice. Some days.
When it comes to the stock market, you have a simple policy. Buy high and sell low.
That's right. That's what I've always heard. Buy high, sell low.
Works, y'all. You bet all your money on the New York Knicks to win the NBA title. How'd that work out for you?
Never gonna happen.
You simply don't look good wearing a monocle. Top reasons that you'll never be rich. You spend all your money on the new iPhone. So there you have it.
All $1,000.
That's right. 1400 WJZM Radio, Thomas Dolby, 51 degrees in downtown Clarksville. Expect a high today of around 74. Don't forget, we've got high school football. Our game of the week is the Clarksville Academy versus Nashville Christian tomorrow night. Airtime 6:45, kickoff 7 o'clock. Clarksville Academy taking on Nashville Christian right here on the big 1400. Time now for some good news.
Good news?
Good news, yeah.
Good news.
And you think about it, this really could have been a huge bridezilla moment, and no one would have blamed the bride. But a couple named Marilia Pironi and Matthias Martins got married in Brazil a few weeks ago. It was supposed to be an outdoor wedding, but it rained, so they moved it inside. And a stray dog that was covered in mud kept crashing the ceremony to get out of the storm. It walked in during the bridal chorus right when she was about to walk down the aisle. Then it came back and some guests shooed it outside again.
Shoo.
Then during the vows, it walked in again. Went straight up to the altar with its muddy paws and laid down on the end of the veil of her bride dress. It was a long veil, so part of it was on the ground, and that's where the dog decided to take a nap. This big, muddy dog.
They adopted it.
So instead of freaking out, Marilia thought it was great, and she told everyone to let him stay. So he stayed throughout the ceremony. They ran out once the rain stopped. They could tell he was a great dog, though, so Marilia and Matthias spent a week tracking him down, and they ended up adopting him. They cleaned him up, and they named him Snoop.
Snoop.
And he's now part of the family.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Doggy Dog.
In the Fazizzle.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Isn't that close?
Yeah, that's close. I mean, yeah, Snoop Doggy Dog. Yeah, he has a reality show. Not a reality show.
Yeah, he's in a reality show every day.
He is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Snoop Dogg show, it's a daily... No, I don't. In real life, he has his own... His daily life is a reality show.
Okay. I'll take that.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, I thought that's a great story.
It is.
That's a great story.
I like that.
Yeah.
They adopted him.
Yeah, good. Heading up towards 9 o'clock, John and I thank you for letting us share part of your Thursday with us. We always look forward to being with you. And hopefully we'll get together again tomorrow. Till then, let's go pee.
Let's go pee.
Let's go pee. Be well, my friends. Bye-bye.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just